focusing on getting the back. So I'm gonna show you guys different ways to get the back, maintain the back, and all that type of thing from a lot of different areas. But tonight we're gonna start from that turtle position, okay? So turtle position, when you're here, right, there's not a lot I can do to keep him turning away from me, all right? So if I'm here, there's certain things that we can do. We worked on the crucifix and all those different type of things that we can attack from here, but there's not gonna be a lot of control, right? What we always have to concentrate on when we're focusing on keeping the back is his hips, right? If he can't move his hips, then he can't roll, turn into me, and such, okay? So we really have to concentrate on hip control first if I wanna control the back, all right? So what we're gonna be teaching tonight is what we're calling like the rodeo back take, right? You've seen me do it. I've probably done it to you. I'll use it in Worlds. It's something that I like to use a lot, and I haven't seen a whole lot of people doing it, but we're gonna show it tonight so you guys can add it to your arsenal, all right? So when we're on the hip, I don't stay here. I'm always gonna rotate and put my hips behind his hips, okay? So I go for this grip right here, right in the back of his collar, and I switch my hips immediately. I want my weight and my knees to be pinched in, right? That's the reason why we're calling it. Have you ever seen a saddle bronc rider on a rodeo, right? He gets his grip, he sets his hooks, and then he goes for a ride, right? That's what I want to do when I'm achieving this back take, right? This allows me a lot of different options. I'm gonna give you guys a couple different options from here. First and foremost, when I get to this position, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give him a pull, all right? Because I wanna get one hook in, all right? So I give him a pull, and I set a hook. All right, once I've done that one time, the second one winds up being a whole lot harder because he's gonna now realize that this is gonna mean I'm gonna set my hooks in, okay? So if I can go ahead and set the second hook, right, and I do get another jerk and I get the second hook, immediately I'm gonna go underneath, right? I'm not gonna sit up here with my hands to where I get thrown off of him, right? Because I'm gonna get thrown forward at that point. So immediately I go double under. Right? I want double under control so I can either pull to him. If I can even get wrist control, even better. Okay? So again, hip position and making sure that your weight is on the hips is key. Right? So we're here. Right? I get my grip, I rotate back. You notice my toes are just like barely touching the ground. I'm really riding him, right? So my hips and everything behind. I don't want to be too far forward. This, I'm off balance. He leans a little bit and it throws me forward, okay? So I need to make sure that my hips are back here, my knees are pinched in right behind the hip, all right? I get my grip at the back of the gi, and a lot of times I'll do that right there. Why? That prevents him from a whole lot of movement and rolling, okay? I'll drive my elbow in there until I'm ready to pull. Pull, set a hook, right? And then he's got to reset from there, right? So I'm here, I'm sitting back again. I don't want to get far forward if I've only got one hook in. I want to make sure that I'm sitting back, all right? Second hook, boom. Immediately start diving in and going underneath his armpits, okay? All right, so once I've got the armpits here, guys, I can just roll off either direction, all right? And because I'm controlling two hands when I go for the double unders, this allows me to take, because I want to attack with the top hand. Okay, so I'm gonna attack with the top hand. I'm gonna take the top hand out. I'm gonna start looking for my chokes immediately, right? So here, I would like to go into my one arm choke, right? Grab and start to pull, okay? I'm gonna control that bottom hand until he makes me do something with it. All right, so that's if you get double hooks and double unders, all right? But a lot of times, like I said, your opponent's gonna get wise to the fact that you're trying to stick your hooks in and he's gonna block that. So we're gonna show you how to do that as well. All right, so we're here. I'm in that controlling hip position. Boom, I rotate back to where I'm at. Boom, I get my first hook set in, and now he drops in real heavy, right? Now, second hook's not gonna be an option. No matter what I do, I'm not gonna be able to force him to give me that hook. That's okay. Look, I'm gonna grab the material right behind his armpit, right here, okay? Because when I fall off of him, I'm gonna use this hook and this to pull him, okay? I've got 3 grips and 1 hook, all right? My knee's gonna drop here, I'm gonna pull, set the other hook, and again, start going for my choke, all right? Immediately when we get the back, guys, start choking. Because when we're taking the back and we're trying to set hooks, if he's concentrating on my feet, he's not guarding his neck, right? So if he's playing with my hands, he can't get my feet from set, okay? So he's got to do one or two things. He's either got to guard my feet from getting the hooks in, as a couple of you guys learned when we were just doing that drill, maybe not a good idea to have both hands down, right? Because I'll get choked out, right? So you gotta make sure that I guard my neck with something, all right? So we're here, switch to the back of the hips. We've got our grip, all right? I'm gonna set one hook, boom, all right? I'm gonna grab the armpit. I'm gonna drop my knee right beside his knee, and I'm gonna pull him in that direction with everything, okay? So I've got this, I drop, I roll, and I'm immediately setting the second hook, and then I start diving in for my choke, okay? All right, that's the first back entry that we're gonna practice, all right? With that one variation, so try it with double hooks. If I get double hooks, I need to go double under. Okay? If I can't establish the second hook, I'm gonna get the armpit grip, put the knee to the ground, pull him to set my second hook. All right? Immediately as we're taking the back, always looking for the neck. Always looking to get the free arm around the neck. Make sure that you are rolling, you know, to the arm that you're using, not to the arm that you want to choke with, right? I don't want to lay on top of this arm, I want that one to wrap around his neck. Okay, so you notice when I roll, the first time when I roll off of him, right, I don't want to stay on this arm. I roll all the way to the other side of my body. So my hook is placed in, I drop, I pull. See, if I stay here and try to set my second hook, I'm going to lose it. So I want to pull him all the way to the other side of my body, and I'm already setting the other hook and setting the arm at the exact same time. There we go. Whenever I get the back, we're going to go into the exact same position, right? So, you know, you can ride the back here, sitting your hips back on his hips, controlling with my elbow. That's kind of the same thing as controlling with my hand, right? But what I'm going to be doing is sit up, right? I'm going to be reaching and I'm going to be grabbing, sit all the way up so you can see. I'm going to be grabbing across the other side, the other lapel, okay? I don't want to grab this lapel, I want to reach across, I want to grab the other lapel. All right, go back down. All right, so it's a backstrap grip, okay? So I'm gonna reach in here, and as I'm rotating, okay, so I'm in this position, I'm gonna feed my hand through, I'm gonna get my grip, and I'm gonna place my hips in the exact same place. I'm coming here, and I'm coming here, okay? This is gonna allow me to be able to torque and turn his body the exact same way, okay? So when I get here, right, I can start looking for hooks. Once I've got that first hook placed, I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm pulling his body, instead of using these, right, like we used on the first technique, I've got this grip right here by itself. The backstrap grip allows me to keep this hand free. Okay, so it's nice if I can pull the back with this, because I can already start to choke because I'm not using two hands, I'm only using one hand. Okay, so I drop, I pull, and I immediately start going into my choke. Okay, so that hand is pulling his body across for you. The hook on the same side, let's do it this direction. The hook being on the same side is allowing me to get my hook in, free here. He's gonna block that hole. Probably not gonna get a second one. I'm gonna drop, my hand comes to the ground if I need to. Right here I can base, right? Because right here I still am in danger of him bucking and throwing me forward, so I need to be able to maintain control of my base. My knee drops beside his knee. Guys, my foot goes flat to the ground like this, all right? Can't see it on that side. It's going flat to the ground like that. That way, it's not impeding me from rolling, right? So I come here, hand goes to the ground, I pull him over, I immediately pull him up the opposite side, and I'm looking to set that second hook. Go this way. No, other way. Another direction. Okay, now, he's got two choices here. He can block my foot or my arm, okay? He can't block both, okay? So if he chooses to block my foot, I'm gonna choke him, right? If he chooses to block my arm, I get my points, right? So I'm gonna win either way, right? Even if he's blocking my arm, he's keeping his hands up here and he doesn't want to give up any type of choke, that's gonna allow me to set my second hook in as you're coming around, all right? I'm gonna show it to you guys in the back position so that you wind up seeing it that way, this way, all right? So we're here, all right? I've got my back strap grip reached all the way across, all right? My hand is free now for me to operate with. I'm gonna pull him up. When I pull him up in this direction, it's opening up the hole. Step my foot in, punch that thing in. Make it nice and tight. I'm gonna use that hook and this grip. Drop my knee to the ground, pull, right? He can block one or the other. If he chooses the foot, I'm gonna go in and start choking him, right? If he chooses to block the hand, the arm, I'm gonna set my hook, and I'm gonna go ahead and take my 2 points and then fight for submissions from the back. Okay? So that back strap grip is also a way to keep them and control them from rolling out of your turtle. Okay? So let's practice that one, and then we're gonna add one more to it. All right, let's do it on 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, all right, so now we're gonna combine the two, okay? So now we're gonna go from our rodeo back take and our backstrap back take to combine the two because they work beautifully together, okay? So if I have a partner that's really hard to control, if you have both of those grips, it's gonna be very, very difficult for them to get away from you, okay? So we're starting here, we're riding back, I'm looking for that first grip, and now I'm getting the second, right? Now I've got both of these grips, right? So I've got my back strap grip, and I've got my back collar grip, my rodeo grip, okay? So I'm gonna set the same hook, all right? I always wanna set the hook to the side that I'm gonna be pulling towards first, all right? So if I'm pulling this direction, I always want to set the right hook, okay? If I was left-handed and I was swapped, I would be wanting to set my left hook, okay? So I've got the opposite collar, right? I've got my rodeo grip, I've got my back strap grip, I'm gonna set that first hook, all right? He really can't stop that one, all right? So he's gonna be able to stop the other one if he's real tough, but because I've got so much leverage and torque, he's not gonna be able to stop me from taking the back now, all right? So I'm gonna drop my knee, my foot's gonna go flat to the floor. I'm gonna start to pull, I'm gonna pull, and I'm gonna set my second hook, right? And I'm gonna go right at my chokes again. All right, so immediately, guys, as you're rolling, start looking for that choke. As soon as you got that rodeo grip has done its job and you've pulled him to your back, use that arm to choke. It doesn't need to stay in the back of his collar, okay? If you start to lose the back, it's a good grip to have, right? Make sure you have it, all right? Saw a couple of guys, right? Forward on the hips. If my knees are covering his knees, I'm too far forward, right? He's gonna be able to buck me and go forward. I wanna be back here, right? Back, my hips are behind his hips. So here, this is the position that we wanna be in, all right? So we get our back strap grip, all right? We get our rodeo grip, all right? Now we've got both of these grips, all right? So I'm gonna set that hook, boom, drop my knee, start going into my choke immediately, all right? So this can be a very efficient and violent way to get the back. And as you're starting to find the back more, right, and you're finding different ways to get to the back, always start looking to sink those hands around, right? Make them block those hands, okay, because they can't worry about your feet, all right? We can establish our points, but more importantly, we want to get the submission, all right? So one more time, we're just combining the two. I'm back on his hips, I reach in, I've got my back strap grip, I've got my hand in the collar. I set my first hook, I drop my foot to the ground, foot comes in, start to pull, and immediately start to go into choking as soon as I get him pulled over. Everybody got it? All right, let's do that for a few minutes and we're gonna get to rolling. Let's do it on 3. 1, 2, 3.